We're here today at Stop Hunger Now to start talking about hunger and hunger relief. Today on Volunteer Houston, we're going to have 3 organizations that talk about what it means to go to bed hungry, what it impacts on a child's life, and how we can lead the dialogue on an international scale. So when we look at kids' meals, we're going to be talking to them about some pressing needs and what you can do to volunteer. We're going to be then talking with Stop Hunger Now to look about what Houston's doing on an international level. And then we're going to talk to Target Hunger about what they're doing to lead and to stop the redundancy and replication of services and truly make an impact. Houston, we couldn't do it without you. Here on Volunteer Houston, we're connecting Houston with their passions. Welcome to Volunteer Houston. When we look at the pressing community needs, one that is very important here in Houston is kids that need food and the delivery of that. So we're joined with Kids Meals. Whitney, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Whitney, now you're the Director of Corporate Development and Volunteering.
That's correct.
Perfect. What do y'all do? What does that do in the community?
So Kids Meals, we are the only Meals on Wheels program for preschool-age children in the entire nation.
Wow.
Yes.
It's like Houston leading by example, right?
Absolutely, it absolutely is. So every day right now we deliver 2,700 meals directly to the homes of these preschool children. So the reason that we focus on preschool-age children is because they're not in school yet. So once kids start school, they qualify for free breakfast and free lunch programs funded by the government.
Okay.
But before these little ones are in school and they're at home, if the parents are having financial issues and can't feed their families, if any children in the homes are going to go hungry, it's going to be these little guys because they just don't get food anywhere else.
And food's pretty crucial. It's pretty important, right? It leads to like brain development. What are some of the...
Gosh, especially the preschool ages between 1 and 5 is that critical time of brain development for these little kids. This nutrition is really imperative for the rest of their lives. You know, we really feel strongly that by delivering this meal every day, we're not just affecting their mealtime, we're affecting their lifetime. It's going to help decrease the likelihood of diabetes, of obesity, of just all sorts of things. The list goes on and on.
Now to do this, y'all are using volunteers to get out in the community. So if somebody watching today, what's their call to action?
Wow, so we could not do what we do without volunteers. So every year we have around 7,000 or more volunteers that come through our doors. Yes, so every day we need people to come and help us make sandwiches and pack these lunches so that we can get them out first thing in the morning to be delivered to these little kids. So that's one awesome way to get involved. People can actually...
so that's 5 days a week y'all are using volunteers.
Yes, Monday through Friday, 9 to noon. And people can also, if they want to actually have that touch point with the children, and they can go with one of our drivers. And that's about, they leave 7:30 in the morning and usually get back around 1 or 2, and so they can spend the whole day. Spend the whole day, go out, help the drivers pass out the lunches, and really get to see on a different level the impact. Yeah, the impact, and see these
Now, what are these kids getting in these lunches? Is it like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? What's a kid walk away with nutritionally?
So typically it's a ham or turkey and cheese sandwich with some sort of snack like a chewy granola bar, cranberries, which we started doing cranberries to make sure these kids are getting iron. So we really do try and make sure they're walking away with that nutritional value, and then 100% juice or water and another snack.
Now that doesn't come easy. There's probably a lot of fundraising and other that sounds like a meal that if I was to go up to a restaurant and get, I'd pay $5 or $6 for. So what are these kids, and what are y'all? How are y'all doing this?
Yeah, so we really try and keep our costs per child very low. So we keep it at below $2 a day per child. So actually right now it's $1.84. So even just a little bit at kids meals, we try and make go a very long way to make sure we're feeding as many children as we possibly can. Houston has the second highest rate of food insecurity in the entire nation, and there are over 88,000 preschool age children a day that don't know where they're going to get their next meal in our city.
Say that again. Food insecurity.
Yes.
So
second highest rate
in the nation.
In the nation, Harris County, right here.
And
yes.
we're talking 88,000 kids. So they're going to go home today not knowing where their next meal comes from.
That's right.
I mean, what y'all are doing is so meaningful. And, you know, when people can't volunteer, it sounds like a $2 donation is going to greatly impact these kids for their lives to come.
Yeah, no, it is. I mean, we rely on donations from individuals and corporations, or however people want to give.
Even the volunteers.
The volunteers, and even just food drives, and there are a lot of different ways that people can give back and impact these children.
That's awesome. So walk me through, what are some things, it sounds like maybe over the summer that y'all have to ramp up because these kids are now out of school, their siblings are there.
Right.
What does that look like on a typical year?
Yeah, exactly. So during the summertime, the older siblings of our preschool age children who would normally be in school getting food there through these government funded programs are out of school. So they go home to these same families that are struggling to feed just the preschool children, and then all of a sudden the parents have to figure out how they're going to feed their older kids as well. So we take it upon ourselves to feed every child in the home during the summertime. So we're doing an additional 1,000 to 1,200 meals a day during the summer.
That's really thought out so that, you know, one kid's not having to maybe even split their meal. Or that only half of the kids in the home are getting it.
Yeah.
So it also sounds like there's things that y'all do that ramp up during the holidays. What do y'all do that maybe helps the kids or more so the families during the holidays?
Right. So we just feel like the holidays can be such a special time of year for so many people, but for these families, it can be also the saddest time of year because they're watching people around them have these big holiday meals and gatherings, and they just don't have the resources to be able to do that. So for both Thanksgiving and then around Christmas time, we provide the families with turkeys and hams. Yes,
that's awesome.
Yes, HEB is a fabulous partner in that, and that we get these at cost and are able to do that. And then schools and companies will help us do drives for canned goods. So that we can put together a whole meal for them for each holiday. So they have the meat, and then they have the green beans, the corn,
all the canned and the stuffing and all of that.
Right, the sides. So they can put together that meal so that their family can enjoy that. So we feel that that's a really important kind of just additional thing that we do for our families. And then we have Christmas parties too. So we do 4 Christmas parties split up on 2 different days, and they're in 2 different locations so that we try and make it
easier for people to get
most accessible for our families. And we have Santa Claus come, and sometimes groups like Harley Davidson will come and do just a little parade for the kids. They get to see the motorcycle. I mean,
and it's loud and that stuff like that. Monster trucks are things that kids like. So
food,
that's awesome.
Food for the families, and then we pass out toys as well.
Wonderful.
Yes.
So really throughout the year, there's multiple touch points. So people can volunteer with you 5 days a week, either coming in an air-conditioned setting, making meals. They can either go out and do, volunteer delivery. So how do they find out? What's your social media? What's all of your Facebook and that? How do they find y'all?
Yeah, so our website is www.kidsmealshouston.org. So you can get all the information you need there. Our Facebook is Kids Meals Inc., as is our Twitter, and then our Instagram is at Kids Meals Houston. So we are very active on all of them.
Whitney, again, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. This was great.
Wonderful. Well, as we look at our next segment, we're going to be talking about how we make an impact internationally. So not only is Houston leading the way here locally, we're making this a global effort as Houston is one of the largest global cities. Stay tuned for more on Volunteer Houston. Welcome back to Volunteer Houston. We're looking today with Stop Hunger Now and the impact that they're making on an international level. So again, this is how Houston is leading the way to really change the dialogue of hunger on a global scale. I'm joined with Michael Bell. Michael, you're the program manager here?
Correct.
Perfect. Tell me a little bit about what y'all are doing here at Stop Hunger Now in Houston.
So Stop Hunger Now is, we've been in Houston since September of 2014, so exactly 2 years now. Our vision is a world without hunger, and we believe that that's possible if we can mobilize the necessary resources and distribute those to the places where it will make the most impact. So what we do here in Houston is we organize volunteers to package meals, and we distribute those internationally. We get groups together, church groups, businesses, school groups, Rotary clubs, any sort of group project.
That's actually how I first found out about y'all. I was volunteering with St. Paul's United Methodist Church there, and right there in the museum district, y'all came out, did a huge project. This had to be 3 or 4 years ago, and I think in a day we did something like 9,000 or 10,000 meals.
Well, St. Paul's has actually packaged 100,000 meals over the past several years each year. So when you get a group together and really work together towards the same goal, it's amazing what you can accomplish. So a group of 40 to 50 people can package 10,000 meals in a matter of an hour and a half to 2 hours with our program.
So we're looking here behind us. I mean, this is, meals that are behind us as our backdrop today, and there's, countless meals. How many meals are we sitting here at this warehouse today looking at?
Well, this behind us is a shipment that's actually going out this afternoon to Guatemala. It's a shipment of 285,000 meals. That will be distributed through a network of school feeding programs and orphanages in Guatemala.
So tell me what a meal is and how much a meal costs.
So the meals that we package, they're designed to be culturally and nutritionally neutral. They're high protein, nutrient fortified meals, and they're dehydrated, so they have a long shelf life. Each package has 6 250 calorie servings. So these meals go into schools. They get 1 or 2, 3 meals a day through their school feeding program. We target mostly young children through the school feeding program, but these meals go to medical clinics, vocational training, things like that. But the meal itself, they can be distributed through those 6 serving packages. We'll hand a box or 2 to a family. Or we'll
it's like a rice that's in it,
a
soy protein?
Correct, I'm sorry. Yes, it's rice, soy protein, customized vegetable blend that we have for Stop Hunger Now, and then a vitamin sachet that was actually designed by Kraft Heinz nutritionists, and they're donated to our organization.
And the meal, on average, what is a meal cost for this? And I say meal as this whole package, right?
Well, each serving of food costs 29 cents.
29 cents.
We ask our volunteers to donate the cost of the ingredients for the meals, and that 29 cents covers the ingredients for the meal as well as the transportation costs to get the meal to its destination.
I don't think I could eat a meal today in Houston, Texas for under 29 cents. I mean, and that's going, to the big box and buying, multiple packs of cereal. Price per serving, I don't think I can get it that low. So y'all are doing this, making an impact, because globally people are going to bed hungry. Like, I don't think that's something that we look at on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, there's 7. The last study through the World Food Organization showed that 795 million people approximately go to bed hungry every night. That number has actually been reduced dramatically due to the just in the past decade or so, the amount of political and social will about hunger advocacy, hunger awareness, and actually working towards eradicating hunger. So progress can happen.
Yes, that's so awesome. I mean, when you look at that, it's a lot of volunteers getting out and doing it. So y'all do opportunities throughout the entire week? Is it Monday through Friday? What do y'all do?
Anytime.
Anytime.
So you would coordinate with me if you had a group that wanted to get together and package meals. Kind of the smallest group would be 15 to 20 people. They can come out to the warehouse, package, fundraise for the amount of meals that they want that their goal is, or I can bring an event to you.
So you bring an event to a corporation or someone. How many volunteers can you impact on something like that?
Well, this is scalable. This is
to whatever. Like
scalable.
Sky's the limit.
The sky's the limit. I'm not going to restrict you. The more, the merrier. I've had events with 200-300 people at a time, and I've had events with 10 people.
So you crank up some music, let them get out, and
we want
just build.
We want to make a fun atmosphere. We want to make we want to have an easy opportunity for people to give back. They can act locally, they can make a global impact.
Yeah.
And we make
well,
it fun.
and that's what so many people want. They want something that they can take out and get their kids involved. And I think that's something. What's the youngest volunteer that y'all can have come out to the warehouse?
It's an all ages event.
Okay.
So ages 4 to 104 can participate. We can find a job for everybody, and it's real straightforward, high energy, fun family atmosphere.
That's awesome, and that's one of the other things we get a lot of our volunteers asking is how do we get our kids involved at a young age? So I think you're hitting a critical need there that many people at home are going to look at and say, this is something that, one, they can get together as a civic group, or two, they can get together as a neighborhood, or even a faith-based group and get out and really make an impact. So per year, how many here in Houston, because I know y'all are an international organization, in Houston, how many meals are y'all making?
Well, our goal this year is to package around 1.3 million meals to distribute internationally. Over the course of the 2 years that we've been here, we've packaged about 2 million meals.
That's phenomenal. So that's 2 million times that somebody could have gone to bed hungry, but they had that need met.
Correct.
And then y'all are doing this throughout the rest of the country as well. So I mean, that's very impactful when you look at what it means for the kids, how to do. Now, when the holidays come, are there bigger opportunities to get out? Are y'all doing more? Does the meals change, or is it just the straight and narrow?
Well, you know, our wheelhouse is host organizations, volunteers that get together and bring an event to their business or church or club. But we do occasionally open our warehouse to the public, where we have Thanksgiving Day events, and we basically put those on Volunteer Houston and then advertise through Volunteer Houston and hope people get on and find our events.
Perfect. Well, we're glad to help on that. I mean, it's really a community effort of how do we do things here in Houston? How do we do things throughout the rest of the country, and really lead by examples? So I really appreciate what y'all are doing, and I think people at home will find a way to get truly connected with y'all's passions.
Sure, yeah.
So tell me, for the people at home, how do they find out about y'all? You've got a website. What else do y'all have out there?
Find us on StopHungerNow.org, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at StopHungerNow.
Okay.
And then if you want to email me directly, you can email me at Houston@StopHungerNow.
Perfect. So it makes sense. So it goes to probably you and a couple other folks. And
Correct. And then the office number here is 832-239-5357. So.
Wonderful. Well, Michael, I really appreciate your time with us here today and the impact that y'all are making. So as we just learned from Stop Hunger Now, not only is Houston leading the way locally in addressing critical needs, we're also looking at it on an international scale. Coming up next, we're going to be talking about what we're doing to tackle food deserts, and what we're talking to really drive and change the dialogue on a national level, starting here at Houston. Again, this is Volunteer Houston. Stay tuned for more. And welcome back to Volunteer Houston. As you know, we've already talked today about the impact that kids are making and what's going on for their food insecurities. We've talked about what Houston is doing, leading the nation and going out and doing international opportunities for food relief. And now we're here with Mel Jones with Target Hunger.
Yes.
Mel, you're CEO of Target Hunger. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, I'm CEO of Target Hunger, and Target Hunger is a hunger relief organization.
Okay.
What we do is we are impacting our community on the local levels in the neighborhoods that we serve. So we have 7 pantries that we collaborate with throughout the community.
Okay.
And we give out food to those that are in need that qualify, non-perishable items.
Wonderful.
But we take it a step further than that. We go out and do additional things like community educational food fairs.
Okay.
We partner and collaborate within the community, bring other resources to our community gardens on nutrition. So we're trying to make a total impact on where hunger is concerned with our communities.
So it's not just giving them food that they may not know how to cook, it's teaching them how to cook, educating them on kind of the whole process, right?
Right. I mean, because we have to realize that a lot of the ways that people eat is generational.
Okay.
So the generational curses that kind of travel down through our lines are impacting us on the medical side every day. And we see people that are dealing with diabetes, we see people that are dealing with health issues that are mainly focused on what it is that they're putting in their bodies.
Okay.
So as a hunger relief organization, it's not so often that we have just an abundance of healthy food that's coming in. So we had to kind of fill those gaps. Through our community gardens and nutrition efforts, we're working with partners to bring in more nutritional items through our gardens that we have, and then through the Houston Food Bank partnership, we're bringing in more items through the educational food fairs.
Oh, that's awesome. So you partner here then locally with the food bank, and it sounds like you said you had a coalition, right, of folks that y'all are working with.
So our goal is to network. You know,
Yes.
I know that hunger is so broad and there's so many things that are involved. It's not just about how much food you give out, because we can tell that the numbers are going up continuously for food that's going out into our communities.
Well, and we've all had financial woes with oil and everything else here locally in Houston, so that has to trickle out to these folks, right?
It's trickling out on a massive level. Many of our clients that are coming in have never needed food assistance before.
Wow.
So we're dealing with the middle class community of the working poor.
Okay.
And that's the most affected, I think, right now, that people oversee every day. They think, oh, they're going to work, they have a job, they're fine, they have their car, you know, they're driving around, everything is okay. But they don't realize that those people are making sacrifices every day to still maintain their household, because the economy is not being so friendly to anyone. So we're dealing with persons that maybe are in need of jobs, we're dealing with persons that do already have jobs, and we're dealing with many seniors who just are not going to be able to support themselves continuously.
Now, how many people do y'all serve each year?
We're right at about 228,000 people a year.
Wow.
We do about 11,000 a month through our collaboration of pantries, food fairs, and assistance through commodities programs that we have.
11,000 people that would otherwise go hungry? Is that that's here in Houston, Texas? We're now almost the third largest city in the United States, and that's an issue that I just don't think the people at home realize that's something that's going on.
I mean, people don't realize, because they're not accounting to the fact you don't see hunger in the same way we might see global hunger, where we can actually visualize and see families that are in need and children that don't have anything.
Closed doors.
It's behind closed, very much behind closed doors. Seniors necessarily are not going to tell you, I don't have any food because I bought my medicine this month. They're just going to go hungry. Our families that are working and have 2 people in the household, many of them are full of pride. They don't want to have to ask for assistance, and so
their kids are going.
Their kids are going hungry.
And
so usually the way we get a lot of information is through the kids and through the schools. So we partner with schools. We try and get information out to all of the schools whenever we have any kind of outreach going on, because we know that's the first link to get to the family.
So this is something that I know a lot of folks are going to be passionate about. How do they get out and volunteer with y'all?
To volunteer with us is like the easiest thing you could ever do.
Perfect.
We have community gardens where they can volunteer. We have operations within our in-house through distribution for our pantries that can volunteer. We have events that are going on. And so if they want to volunteer, they can call us at 713-226-4953. Go on our website at www.targethunger.org and then come out and support us.
That's awesome. So it sounds like you can do stuff that you can get dirty doing, build some sweat equity. I mean, that's always fun, you know.
Of course.
You know, it's healthy for you to do, but then there's, back of house stuff as well. So how many volunteers are y'all using, do you think, yearly?
We host about 5,000 plus volunteers a year through our various events. So there's a lot of collaboration going on.
That is.
A lot of effort. We have a large contingency of community partners that we're working with on a daily basis to make sure that our educational components of wraparound services for our clients are available, because we don't just give out food and then say, oh, go home and then try and figure it out. We're trying to help our clients figure out, what do you do next if you need assistance with jobs. We have classes that are teaching on resume building, how to dress for success, different things that are partnering with the reentry program for persons coming back into the community that maybe have dealt with incarceration, and they're trying to figure out how to move forward.
So y'all are really looking at the whole person. You're collaborating, so it seems like in many ways there's this non-redundancy of programming. So if somebody's doing it well, y'all are letting them run with it, but complementing what they're doing.
Exactly. We are not all into everything. We would like to think that we're all that and more. But the truth of the matter is that hunger is so huge, it's so broad, has so many different facets that are ingrained in poverty. And that if we don't realize that as a unified effort, this is how we're going to make it, we're never going to make impact. So I'm thankful for the great partners that you are highlighting today. I'm thankful for our partnership with the Houston Food Bank. I'm thankful for those that are addressing hunger daily, because it is not going away. we have to come together in order to solve this issue. And we have to be strong about it in alliance. And so I'm all about alliances.
I love it. I mean, that I think speaks so much to Houston's strength and what we as a community can do. We just kind of go out and start solving. Thank you so much for what y'all are doing on it.
Thank you.
So what are some things throughout the year? So, you know,
well, in every fall we have a walk.
Okay.
And so we're excited about that. That's coming up soon.
Okay.
And then in February, well, at the beginning of the year, we have our annual gala.
Wonderful.
And then we have several campaigns going on through our Connecting with Hunger food program, which is food drive based.
Okay.
And virtual money food drive based, because we can do a lot more with
Perfect.
dollars, so we can purchase more items. But we're always in search of partners. We're always in search of volunteers and awareness, because if we can bring awareness to us, we can share awareness with others that are doing the same thing.
Well, that are you know, tackling these food deserts and the
Right.
food insecurity that I think we've you know, just kind of scratched the surface on today.
Exactly.
So that's wonderful. I really cannot thank you enough for all that you're doing.
Thank you.
Tell the audience at home, how do they find out about you?
Well, to find out about us, we're a hidden gem, a hidden of a
Yes.
diamond. So they can go on www.targethunger.org.
Okay.
They can call our organization at 713-226-4953.
Wonderful.
And anybody that wants to come for a tour, anybody that wants to see exactly what Target Hunger does, they are welcome to give us a call at the office. We schedule
Wonderful.
tours on
Love
a daily
it.
basis. We want you to see. We're transparent.
Facebook, social media?
Facebook, we have a Facebook page, a little bit
Perfect.
hard to get to, so call our office or
Wonderful.
Google Target Hunger. All
Love
kind
it.
of information.
Love it. Makes it so easy. Mel, again, thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm so honored. Just so
Wonderful. Well, join us next time on Volunteer Houston, where we're connecting people with their passions. Volunteer Houston, again, leading the way in the community and the nation for volunteering and service. Again, volunteerhouston.org, where we're connecting people with their passions. Thank you.